This is a curandera. A curandero, or curandera for the female healers, are traditional native healers that can be found in Latin America and Latin communities in the United States and the rest of the world. Curandero devote their lives to healing people through their unique knowledge that can help treat mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual illnesses. But how does this traditional healing play a role in the larger Latin culture? And how has it shifted as the people and practices have moved throughout the world? These important healers are being overshadowed by more modern healers that work in corporate hospitals like doctors and nurses, leaving behind a plethora of knowledge. An understanding of curanderos, their culture, and how they exist in different places can help to end the medical hegemony that exists today that disregards many people and cultures. So what exactly do curanderos do? The different types of curanderos include the yerbero, which is the herbalist, the partera, which is the midwife, and the sobador, which is the masseur. As a cross-cultural phenomenon, curanderos exist beyond borders and work in religious and regional cultures and intersect between multiple disciplines. Some of the methods they use can be found in other traditional healing systems, like Chinese healing systems, Ayurvedic healing systems, and Native American healing systems. Methods that are used include the burning of herbs, cupping, mud, and prayers. Sometimes Catholic iconography and imagery is used, like crucifixes, rosaries, and holy pictures, since curandero culture is rooted in Catholicism. Curanderos have a connection to brujas, or witches, with some beliefs revolving around witchcraft superstition. In colonial Latin America, curanderos were often seen to be the same as brujas. Curanderos were persecuted during such times, and this persecution is likely because they were females in positions of authority, not because of their healing methods. They were greatly admired in their communities because of their knowledge. Lower classes are the primary users of curanderos, either due to the rural locations and lack of access to modern medicine, or because of the affordable prices charged by the practitioners. Many curanderos do not accept cash payment. Instead, many prefer offerings. In the United States, it's often the language barrier that drives Latin Americans to seek out the services of traditional curanderos. Anyone can use a curandero, but a study conducted in the popular curandero region of the southwestern United States shows who uses them the most. In the study, conducted by Ricardo Padilla, called The Use of Curandismo in the Public Healthcare System, he sought to find out how much curandismo is used with Hispanic participants at the Denver Medical Center. To assess this, the researchers conducted a survey that had questions about participants' use of curandismo in the past, what issues they used it for, and how often they used it. The data gathered from the surveys was then analyzed with univariate analyses, multiple logistic regression, and odds ratios. The results of this study showed that many Hispanics surveyed did in fact use curanderos, and showed the importance of this data in relation to the growing population of Hispanics in the United States. In addition, the study found that curandismo is used to treat a variety of problems, and frequently such. Another key finding from the study was the amount of females that use curanderos. Nearly 80% of the participants that used curanderos were female. Maybe this is because some of the intrusive methods are used by modern doctors. It could also be because of the decline of midwives in hospitals. The parteras, or midwives, aim to form a connection with the women that seek their help, but the hospital medical hegemony aims to paint these midwives as dirty and unknowledgeable, which is obviously not true. The way someone views health and medicine is dictated by cultural values, and that is why curanderos are so important everywhere in the world. Author of the best-selling book, Women Who Glow in the Dark, Elena Avila is a practicing curandera and nurse practitioner. She always pays attention to a patient's beliefs, with Avila saying on page 21 of her book, "Although I do not believe in curses, I respect the cultural perspective of those who do, and I listen to them with respect." She talks about numerous health professionals who have strengthened their treatment of patients through the use of curandera techniques. Psychiatric nurses will take closed-off, troubled boys into nature reserves and utilize curandero methods of a talking circle. Everyone gathers and listens to each other, helping to heal emotional wounds. This mixture of clinical treatment and curandera treatment works well, and it is utilized by many doctors in Mexican cultures. Curanderas that exist in the United States are not exactly the same as those that exist in Mexico and the global South, as the cultural values and norms in the United States have merged to create an entirely new curandero culture. A famous example of how the culture differs between Mexico and the United States is Maria Sabina, who lived in Oaxaca, Mexico. This curandera was famous for her use of psychedelics as a healing medicine. Many curious Americans visited her looking to benefit from curandera culture, and they brought the ideas back with them to America. The idea of using psychedelics to heal is growing in popularity in the United States, but it will never be the same as the knowledge and insight that curandera Maria had. Perceptions of curanderos are varied, and there is resistance in Mexico and in Mexican-American communities for different reasons. In the United States, more than 75% of Mexican Americans use complementary or alternative therapies to treat their illnesses. However, in an interview that Dr. Dennis Moll had with a prominent curandero in Los Angeles, Mr. Miguel Flores, it is revealed that Mr. Flores is scared about the decline of the culture, with him saying that he hopes that Dr. Moll will learn some of his skills and use them so that people could get that kind of medical help after Mr. Flores has died. In the community that Mr. Flores lived in, outsiders to the culture view it as an illegitimate source of medical care. In Mexico, the ties that curanderos have to brujas lead some people to look down on it. Regardless of the criticisms, their popularity is evident, especially with the case of Mr. Flores, whose busy schedule of patients allows one to see how important and admired curanderos are by some. I personally took some trips to botanicas that exist throughout Chicago, where elements that are part of the curandero culture are very prevalent, such as herbs, the burning of candles and incense, and Catholic iconography. In my research, I was limited by my own language barrier and that I do not speak Spanish. Possibly, there is more literature written on curanderos in Mexico and the global South that is written in Spanish, but I still aim to present perspectives of those who are part of the global South. Prior to this class, I was a part of the medical hegemony that disgraces folk medicine. I never had negative views of it, but I had never considered it to be a legitimate way of healing, and through my research, my perspective has changed a lot. It is important to note that people are not seeing curanderos to treat cancer, but seeing them to help achieve a better quality of life and to help them achieve peace of mind. This short video cannot encompass the diversity and minute details that exist in the culture, but I hope that you have a better understanding of why curanderos are so important, and thank you for watching.